16 years, I think. Math was not my 16 or 17 years. I think 16. For FM Talk 1065. And phone number has been the same. So write it down, put it in your contacts, whatever you got to do. 251-343-0106. 251-343-0106 for a call or a text. And reminder too, with the FM Talk 1065 app, if you're looking at the landing page, front page, whatever the thing's called, the main page there's a microphone icon there. If you press that, lets you record a message, emails me, and I can play that back on there as well. So just another way to get through. All right, and talking about all the hours a week of live local radio that happen here, these men are normally doing their show on a Sunday, and they will be, unless you will be here Sunday.
Yeah, as far as I know.
Yeah. Okay, all right, just check.
You know something we don't show?
No, I'm trying to figure out, making sure YouTube is going to be there. You hear them on Sundays after Bill Finch at 11 o'clock. Sit and Chew, who have names like Mike and Stu, are joining me here on Midday Mobile. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, thanks for asking.
Appreciate it.
So, listening each week and listen to food talk, it's actually not fair because I'll try to go like, hey, I'm not going to eat during the day. I'm just going to have the one meal. And I'll be out, working on a piece of equipment or something like that, listen to it. And then I get up and go have lunch when I wasn't planning on having lunch. So thanks, guys.
That's our job.
Extra weight on that. And I would talk about people.
It's our pleasure.
If people are like weekday listeners and they, for some reason, they go, I don't know, you go to do something on the weekends, they don't pay attention to the radio. Tell them about your show.
Well, we're a beverage and food show.
No, food and wine show.
Or something like that.
Yeah, food and wine.
It's been going on for 13 years now.
Almost 14.
May 1st. Congratulations on May 1st.
Yeah.
We'll be May 5th.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, Cinco de Mayo. But it's that Sunday. We'll be starting our 14th year.
Yeah. What was it that the lady from Mobile Bay Monthly described us as? Stream of consciousness radio. Because we come in with no plan.
I mean, the stream part I would agree with. I don't know about the consciousness. But the stream part, she nailed that.
Sometimes, when we did the 8 o'clock show, I wasn't very conscious.
Yeah. There were a lot of times I came into the show with like 2 hours sleep because I closed the night before.
That's kind of, it's early morning schedule for people that work in the bar and restaurant. Well, it's not usually.
Yeah, it's not get up early, it's stay up a few more minutes.
Yeah, so believe me, as a young man in this business that got thrown into morning radio very early in my life, the couch and I from stations in Tuscaloosa down to here, we were afraid I would say, well, the chance of waking up and being there for the show's not good, so I'll just sleep at the station.
Yeah, I've napped in a booth or two at a restaurant after close.
How is that?
Uncomfortable.
I'm glad the car seats go back.
Yeah,
That's true. We'll talk more about the show, but y'all can listen to these guys Sunday mornings at 11 here at FM Talk 1065. And as per normal on a weekend, I'm listening to them. And Stu brings up, like he does a lot of times, he talks to barbecue and said, hey, I'm going to do something this week. I'm going to talk about and I don't want to, you give me the right term, the barbecue regions of the state or the barbecue congressional districts of barbecue.
Well, what I did was I made the argument that Alabama secretly may be the best state for barbecue in the country. Okay. And there are 4 main regions for barbecue in the country. Mike's got those listed, but most of us know it is Texas barbecue, Kansas City barbecue, Memphis, and
North Carolina,
and the Carolinas, actually the whole, because the whole hog tradition is big in the Carolinas.
Yeah. Okay.
But the sauce is an adventure, and you were talking about sauces. Very little of the red sauce you're used to. If you find one like that, it'll be more like Dreamland, very vinegary, thin.
So, help me. Not being an expert here. Dreamland sauce, which I love, is what region that you just said? Where does it?
Closer to the Carolinas.
Yeah, so it's more like Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's such a heavy vinegar. Because the Western, I'm telling you, the Carolinas are funny. Western North Carolina is its own style of barbecue from the rest of the Carolinas. That's the whole hog with a sauce that is almost predominantly cider vinegar with a little black pepper, a little crushed red pepper, a touch of ketchup to make it sweet. But mostly it's vinegar. And that's in North Alabama, you will experience that at Witt's Barbecue.
I've heard of it.
Very Carolina style. But in the rest of the state, it'll be more like the Dreamland style. Then in South Carolina, you run into what I call the kakalaki sauce, which is South Carolina mustard sauce.
Yeah.
You use mustard as the base instead of ketchup. Usually a beer goes into it, the same things you put into it, a little bit of ketchup in the end. And that is
Does
great.
it look, does it look different?
Yeah, it's yellow.
It's yellow.
Paula Dean has one she calls like golden barbecue, and then gold. Somebody else has one called Carolina Gold.
Because beer and mustard are two of my favorite condiments.
Right.
So,
And it's a great sauce. I found it fantastic for smoked sausage.
I love mustard. I like a spicy mustard.
Right.
Smoking sausage.
Exactly. I have done both at one Lucky when I was chef and at Beer Garden. We had a Conecuh corn dog on the menu, and that's the sauce I like to pair with it.
But that's a barbecue sauce, even though
Yes, absolutely.
it's based in beer and mustard.
Right. There's a little ketchup and there's a little sugar in it too. It's not as tart as you would think, but you'll also find it on the Alabama, and that's one of the regions we'll talk about in a minute, on the Alabama-Georgia line. There is a small little cult of barbecue called Big Pig Style that started in Columbus, Georgia. They use a mustard-based sauce.
I used to, when I first started barbecue or smoking, a young smoker, I will say, I used to do nothing but mustard and some seasoning. No, but I never put vinegar in. I just did mustard only.
Well, you don't have to put vinegar in it because mustard is vinegar.
Yeah.
It's mustard seeds cured in vinegar and pureed.
But then I got tired of that flavor, that style, and my palate wanted something different. So
yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, jumping your palate around.
But nowadays, I've said it before, I just prefer not to have any sauce on mine at all.
But on the side,
But depending on, I have it on the side to do dip. I'm a dipper.
Then you are having the sauce,
right?
Well, yeah, but
you're just taking responsibility. You're taking personal, Mike. You're taking personal responsibility for the sauce.
My little stint at the brick pit, we didn't put anything on the meat. Nothing. It was all wood. It's all smoke.
Right.
And it was delicious that way, just like that. We put all the seasoning in the barbecue sauce. Put it on the sauce, and we won for many years. We won awards for the sauce, like the Nappy Awards, year after year. I like to, when I go into a bar and have barbecue, I don't want any sauce. I want to be able to taste the meat first. And to me, when they put sauce all over it, for some places, they're hiding something, and maybe the barbecue's not that great.
And maybe that's a way to back up here too. Before I've run with the sauce, but I want to come back to it because I've found on different areas, and is Alabama maybe the meeting of the crossroads of barbecue or something. But y'all said it, and Jeff Ford and I, when I was at the end of his show telling them that y'all were on, he talked wood first as well. Mm-hmm. In the different regions of Alabama barbecue, is it dependent? Are people using different woods?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Here, hickory is predominant in North Alabama.
Okay, this is what I wanted. Okay, so that's the hickory zone.
Right. When you get to Central Alabama, it's mostly hickory, but when you get to the Black Belt region and here on the Gulf Coast, you start seeing a lot of pecan.
It's mostly pecan.
And that's my favorite.
That makes sense. Like where we live, right, be available, but we also live in a time now. I can have food sent to me from if we pay enough, we can get stone crabs from Joe's delivered here by time that Joe's ever. I mean, people could eat, but they stick with the wood that was probably predominant.
It's cheapest.
Yeah.
Well,
we can't give you a lot of
we could get post oak from Texas, but by the time they ship it here, it's going to be a lot more expensive than the pecan we can go out in the backyard and cut down.
Right. Yeah. That probably also, if you got in a habit, right? Like, we always use pecan, and they did it because it was what was available. That becomes a tradition. And even if you had to ship off for pecan, you probably would, because that's the way you do it.
You can add down here. They do still add a little hickory in it,
or oak,
but it's predominantly pecan. But they will add either hickory or oak.
Oh, well, okay. Refined palates here. Can you tell? So no sauce. We're talking about just wood smoke. Okay. Can you tell what has hickory, what has pecan?
Absolutely.
You can.
If I've got a hickory and a pecan rib next to each other, I can absolutely tell them.
If I have them next to each other, I can probably do it. But
and I can usually identify because it's got such a distinct flavor. Whereas
we're not talking about sauce, y'all. This is
just the wood. Yeah. Well, think about it. The wood gives the barbecue the flavor the exact same way that it does whiskey. I mean, whiskey goes in the barrel vodka. It comes out bourbon. And I've seen it just using wood chips with my kettle grill at home. I soak them in water for about 30 minutes. Well, if you leave them in there for about an hour or two, it looks like bourbon. Well, that's the same thing that's flavoring the whiskey.
Yeah.
And now it's flavoring your smoke.
Well, in the barrel, they cooper them, so they burn them.
Yeah,
the
they put a
inside,
little char on
and
it.
they put a little toast. You can get a little toasty, or you can get real bad charred. Really thick char, depending on how deep of the flavor of the vanillas and the aromas that you want to pull out of the barrel.
Yeah, the science of it is
Just like wine. I mean, same thing as same wine.
But wine
process.
wine makes sense to me, and even bourbon makes sense to me. But here comes this wood; it's burning. The flavor is in the smoke that's now going to the meat. There's this transfer process that's harder for me to understand. It now even complicates the idea of we got to get through the wood part before we even start talking sauce. And we're going to do that when we come back. Our guest Sip and Chew right here on Midday Mobile.
I almost went 25131.
Do what?
I almost went 25133. Hey, can you turn mine up a little bit?
Remember, Mike's a bit of a diva.
Those mine yours are probably is that you? That's you? I can't tell which one is you. I don't know.
No, I
That's
might
probably
be.
not you. So is this you?
Yeah, there you go. That's good.
I'm going to start. He got it right. Devin did, but if I hear Silicone Ranch one more time, I'm going to Stockton and open a strip club. Silicone Ranch.
There you go.
Have you looked into any of that?
Story.
Yeah.
Oh God, we did.
Yeah.
I mean,
I did an episode on it.
I give Lanyard credit for what Grant got into, but it started with us with Annie from Stockton taking it on the show one day before it ever hit anything. And said, "Hey Sean, don't you know they're doing such and such?" So I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
And we started talking about it to the point that got that because I do try to have a logical opinion on things.
Yeah.
Right. At least in my logic, until somebody shows me it's illogical. To the point that Silicon Ranch thought I should moderate that event the other night, and I declined nicely because the second you're there, they ask you. They said you can be your normal, even, But I'm like, no. I thought it was good for the station to be invited to be so much in the community, but I'm like, I'm going to be seen as being
either pro
their
or
guy.
con. Yeah.
There's people that are all pissed. They think I'm their guy. Oh, on Facebook they said that Ben Raines and I, because Ben and I were talking on it, that Ben Raines and I were paid spokespeople for Alabama Power Company.
Yeah.
Well, two some bitches in media in this state that give an Alabama Power Company more shit is Ben Raines and myself. And I'm like, y'all are ignorant.
What I don't understand is they're putting the center in Montgomery, outside of Montgomery, but they're going to build this.
The wire's not going there, so it's offset. So it's already burning. So that one up there, and they're getting ready to try to do another one in Lowndes County right next to the Hope Hole one. They are offsetting because these companies want to say we're carbon neutral. So they're burning good old fashioned natural gas or coal power right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're financing this down here to put that energy back into the grid down here to Alabama Power to say we offset the amount we are burning. We're not a net carbon. It's all about the optics of the company.
Yeah, the good, clean, and
Yeah, there's
conditioned.
no wire that goes up to the. It is a. We're using dirty electricity up here, but we're providing these people down here where we can buy the property.
Well, they also get the good, clean, and conditioned electricity that a plant produces, which is what they need for their systems. And now the taxpayer is having to get the less than reliable power that comes from the solar panel.
Yeah,
That's the biggest thing in it for me.
But it's also like, this is why I guess Silicon Ranch thought I was their boy or something.
Yeah.
But like Ben and I talked about that 4,500 acres. First of all, it's not like pristine. There's no pristine forest here. I mean, it's loblolly,
Right.
road planted loblolly, which is fine. I mean, we cut timber. My family. It's like it's not a bad thing. If you put SMZs along the drainages, there's nothing getting into the way they leave this drainages. They don't cut the trees.
Their premise looks fairly clean.
Yeah,
but they've also had problems with the erosion in two of the places. And that's the
if
big
we
thing.
don't love that place, we're gonna have erosion too, though.
Right,
I
exactly.
mean, that's like all Ben said is if it has to be that or a neighborhood, that could do less damage environmentally. They took
Beef is a great idea.
They said environmental friendly. People think this is a great plan or something. All we said is it's private property. They could have developed a neighborhood. Nobody bitched about it. And also Novellis is 2.1 miles away.
Mhm.
No, do you hear any bitch about Novellis?
No.
They move tons of dirt for that aluminum place up there,
Yeah.
but there's jobs. This thing doesn't bring jobs, so
Right.
there's no support. Right, 123 FM Talk 106.5 at Big Bay Mobile. Glad to have you along. Hey, good to have Sip and Chew, Mike and Stu, in studio. Check them out Sundays at 11. But the gentlemen were talking about barbecue on Sunday. I said, man, we got to talk about this on the show. And I have a ton of texts for y'all. So before we get to those, though, I like this is it's even more complicated than I thought, because I was just focused on sauce. But before we even get to that, it's the regions of the wood used here, from hickory to pecan, right?
Right. And yeah.
In a way, yeah. And mostly,
and Texas
mostly
is
that.
most of it.
Mostly that,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
the real,
What's Carolinas?
Mostly hickory.
Okay.
yeah, I would, yeah, absolutely. You can go to any meat market now, like over in Robertsdale or up here on Airport Boulevard or Three Arrows over in Spanish Fork. Every one of them have a huge selection of wood now.
I see that. I see the bags of the,
And so, I wonder how much that is playing now. Maybe in the restaurants, maybe the barbecue restaurants, they use what they have, what's native to them there. But I'm seeing so many of the and like pellet smokers.
Yeah.
Now, when I drive by a barbecue place, and if I don't see smoke coming out of it,
Yeah.
I'm moving on.
Well,
But
and it's olfactory advertising too. If the wind
It
blows the
is.
right way, I'd
It
have
is.
fans. I'd have fans if I were placed. Whenever the wind was doing, I'd go counter, so I had it both ways.
Bill Arbrecht kept that little smoker out front. People, y'all cook all that barbecue? No,
No,
we got a
they
big.
drag us in by the nose.
But you can smell it all over the neighborhood. But and that works. But I've had some pretty good tasting barbecue where they're using the pellets now.
Yeah.
And I'm going,
Well, here's the thing. The
That is
smoke
good.
that you see is not the smoke that you taste.
yeah.
This is
Have you-
what I was
yeah.
talking about, Stu. It's like this is the jump that, like, bourbons and wines. I get that transfer. I guess it's just the magic of it is, how does a taste go from that log up through the smoke and then get in that meat?
You are turning it from a solid state to a gaseous state.
Right. I'm with you
Okay.
there.
Now the smoke that we
And it
see,
just permeates the meat. And
right, exactly. It gets in on the molecular level.
if I put that smoke in my mouth, I wouldn't taste it. I can taste smoke, but
Actually, you would. Do you know what liquid smoke is made of?
smoke that made into
Smoke and water.
Okay.
They do a
I
distillation.
figured it was some kind of chemicals. They just said that is kind of like
The cheap ones are, but
Okay.
liquid smoke is they build a still just like you would for alcohol.
I was just about to say.
But what it does is the condensation in the still collects the particles from the smoke itself, puts it in, and then when it condenses back down, you've got liquid smoke.
Yeah, I have built
I'll
one.
be damned.
I have built one.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
you put your wood in the bottom and you burn it. It's like there's nothing there inside the kettle or whatever. Kettle. What's the word? Another word. I don't want to look too obvious here.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
You're among friends, don't worry.
But the smoke on the airway, yeah, the smoke goes up down
The
into
evaporator
a
cools.
bottle
That's the way
or
the air
container
conditioner works.
of water and goes below the water and it bubbles out through the water, and then that steam
Mhm.
goes on exits on out.
It's left something in
So,
that
in that
liquid
water.
before it-
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And you'll watch that water, and you can watch that water, especially if you got one of those big glass containers. You can watch that water turn brown, real
Oh,
dark
yeah,
brown,
the stuff transfer. Listen,
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
and that's liquid smoke right there, man. You can use that.
the same way we get, Blackwater streams,
Mhm.
from the leaching from pine straw, but this is
Right.
just a little fancier.
Yeah.
So we got the smoke component in this.
Mhm.
So now we got this, like if this is a GIS map, y'all, have you ever seen those? We've laid the first layer down,
Mhm.
which is the smoke over the or the
Right.
wood source of the geography. Now we're going sauce on top of that,
All right. The red sauce that you referred to,
right?
that most
What is the
people
right
have,
name for it? I don't know. I call it.
that's a Kansas City style sauce. It was
Okay.
invented in Kansas City, Missouri, and it spread through the rest of the country. And what most people interpret as barbecue sauce is Kansas City style.
Okay.
Like the Dreamland is similar to Kansas City, just more vinegar to thin it out. The mustard sauce is out there. Texas is probably a Kansas City style most of the time, but it's only on the side, and it's probably for dipping French fries, stuff like that. Some Texans do use barbecue sauce. Don't believe them when they say there's never any barbecue sauce in Texas. It's not true.
Okay, it is.
It's best on the sausage though. And see, Texas.
I like it on.
Texas, most people think of beef,
Mhm.
beef brisket, but when they grade a Texas barbecue joint, they rank the brisket, the sausage, homemade sausage, and turkey breast, smoked turkey breast. And
Really?
then they rate them on the sides of potato salad, baked
You
beans.
never said ribs in there at all.
No. If it is a rib, it's a beef rib.
So it's brisket, and then what was next?
Sausage,
Sausage, and then
turkey. And you can find pork products there. They do spare ribs and all that, but that's not what they do. They just have them for people. It's
So now
kind of
there's another.
it's kind of like you go into a seafood restaurant and get a cheeseburger. They've got it there for those
Right.
people.
Well,
I've had some good cheeseburgers at seafood restaurants.
Yeah.
But that was also down. So in our GIS map here, if I'm picturing this, we laid down the wood layer. Now it's the meat used. It's not ubiquitous across the landscape and barbecue. Different areas are using different meats
Mhm.
to do
Right.
what we're calling air quotes here barbecue.
Exactly.
And some of the sauce is on it, some of the sauce is on the side, like Mike likes it on the side.
Right.
No.
A little of both. Like if I get a pulled pork sandwich, I want a little drizzled on there because I may be driving and can't dunk it.
As
But-
much as I love a pulled pork sandwich too, you know, when they did the distracted drive, the people not texting and driving,
Mhm.
I think trying to eat a pulled pork sandwich may be more dangerous.
Yeah.
driving than texting.
As I've gotten older, I found a park. If it's
yeah,
because I was coming off of my dog Luke and I went and hiked Mount Cheehaw a couple of years ago.
my face.
Coming off the mountain, I know I'm in the North Alabama barbecue belt.
Mhm.
I mean, the state puts out a brochure that takes you to all the places, like 100 and something barbecue places up there. And I drive into Talladega and I'm like, I'm in this area. I'm just stopping at the first one. And it was a shack that looked like something the Little Rascals had put together. No dining. You walked up to a window. I grabbed a pulled pork sandwich, rode right around the corner in Talladega. There's a little veterans park.
Right.
Get on the picnic table. One of the best pulled pork sandwiches I've ever had. Of course, you know, when you come off a hike,
Yeah, and
whatever
some
you
Ritz
eat is probably the
crackers.
best version that you've ever had.
Ritz crackers are fantastic. All right, coming back. We've laid out. I mean, this has become a complicated algebraic equation when it comes to barbecue. We've got wood here. We've got the meats we use, and we're going to get into the sauce. I swear. I mean, really, it's a Friday. We'll probably get into the sauce.
Well, you know, he's an award-winning sauce maker.
There we go. We'll get it from the award winner when we come back.
From the Kansas City Barbecue Association.
Dang, did y'all get a big hat or something?
Metal.
Oh, cool. Sweet.
People's Choice Award.
The what?
People's Choice.
Very good.
And it's registered too. And you can go back to 2013 and yeah, it's 13 years ago. My life's flying in front of you.
Oh, you've been here forever.
I know my late ex-brother-in-law used to do, they made their own sauce in Fuego. They competed at stuff around here, and then they went up to maybe Memphis and May and some other ones. That was his thing. They were in Fuego barbecue sauce. That was the way I hunted fish. He got into, he didn't really have a hobby, so he got, and his dad, my ex-father-in-law, they get big smoke. Mitchell Company has a big smoking truck, and he loved to do that.
Yeah.
And so Brad got into it. And so I mean, I'd go eat it. I say I'm ignorant. I don't know how it's made. I know that I go, oh, I like this. You know, I like this one more, but I don't know.
Right.
I went a year and a half ago. I went to up to Anniston to an Auburn class, and I got certified to be a co-packer and dealing with a co-packer where I can make people sauce, and you come to me with a sauce. Hey, Mike, can you follow this for me and help me label it and get it out in the market? And I'm certified to do that now, and I had done. I have.
Yeah.
Yes, I. Yeah. It takes me a little while. I got into the juice a little bit last night at home.
I only do that only on days that end lines.
Yeah.
But yeah, mine's a root beer barbecue sauce, root beer base, and
You talked about that. Yes.
I've got to get it back going. I'm still unpacking from moving a year ago.
Speaking of the juice too, I'm looking for, and I know like going Sam's. Now I have a Sam's card, so I can get my mother's prescriptions all the time because she's going to save 17 cents. So there's nowhere I can draw through. By the way, back there. But buying some of my girlfriend, like the way I drink cold beers, she drinks wine like that. And it has kicked my ass, like early on your date and you're like, oh, I'll get a bottle of rum power, this and that. It starts going down that, and so, and she's always like, anything with a duck on it is good, like decoy or whatever. But I'm trying to find something at $12.98 that doesn't, because she it's $20.99 is the low price point on the stuff she likes. So I'm trying to find
Does she drink shards or what?
She drinks Cabernets, and she will drink a Pinot or something like that. Now she drinks it.
Well, the Clos de Wild products have come down. They used to be like $20-something a bottle, but I'll go up to Rouse's and buy. Sometimes they'll have a $7.99 Chardonnay. And since I had COVID, my palate doesn't work like it used to. So I need sharper tasting, more acidic tasting wines like Chardonnay or French Chablis.
Right.
That has no oak or butter in it. And man, now there are some red wines I can still enjoy, like an Old Vine Zen. Some calves out of Washington State really are good.
Not just good, can you taste them better?
The calves and Merlot out of Washington State are really good.
I'll drink.
And they're cheap.
There's a lot of wines I like, and I'll drink, but calves my favorite. I grew up with my parents, mom still has, they have a wine cellar thing. Camis's, I love great wines. I can't afford to bring her home 2 bottles of that. I need
a little more.
I was going to say, my 12-pack of Coors Light, like a weekday beer, at Dollar General is $12. I
drink Miller High Life.
Yeah, I like those too. There's really not a beer I don't like that much. But what I'm getting at is that, but my price point, if we're going to be fair, right?
Yeah.
Then I need something that mirrors what I'm spending. I bump this forward.
Yeah, we had Jennifer call in and we experimented with some of those THC beverages. I went at Cloud9 there in Sims, and he gave them to me as cheap as the state would allow. They can't give away those.
Right.
So I just paid cost plus tax, and Mike and I tried some. But then I had another root beer one that I don't think Mike got to try it. It tasted like root beer.
Yeah, that's the one you brought.
Yeah.
Lemonade one that tastes like lemonade.
Yeah.
And then they the margarita.
Yeah.
I can't drink margarita anything more, but I can drink straight tequila.
Well,
Over rocks.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm not chugging, I'm sipping it. But I like high-end tequila.
Yeah.
Hey, Anna, Sean. All right. What do you want to talk about here? Okay. Okay. Well, good. Well, I will just make something of it. Yeah. Good luck.
Good luck.
Right. 135 FM Talk 1065 at Midday Mobile. Glad to have you along. Good time to check in with my friend Anna at Mobile Bay Coins and Fine Jewelry. And Anna, I'm watching this. Gold prices just this week have climbed up, and looking like it today. What about, we talked about this the other day. We're always talking about buying gold, which is a good thing, buying gold and silver from y'all. But what about selling to y'all? This might be a good time.
With $100 on hand to go and pay for anything to. Sometimes it could be, broken jewelry pieces, stones, things that they've held on to thinking they'll repair it or whatnot.
And now they can make some cash from it. Also, we talk about this as people look at the different ways to buy from y'all. I love this. If somebody goes, All right, gold is at what, 4,800 and something bucks today. I don't have that on hand to buy, to sit there and buy that bar. Y'all sell it in all kind of sizes and denominations. Like what's like the paper thing I thought was fascinating. Y'all still have any of those? What, tell people who don't know this thing, what's it called? That is. So it's, y'all, it's paper currency. So I see this as paper currency, but it's gold.
Like, you know, for that bill or that, you know, what the value of the gold in that is. So some people collect them because right now they're more of like a collectible, but in other states, I feel like it's taken off, like Wyoming, North Dakota, with some of the ones that they've done. I think that's a great idea. I wish we could implement that everywhere.
Yeah, well, Alabama will be last to do that probably, but we can always hope. All right, tell folks if they want to come out and sell, buy precious metals, check out all the collectibles, gift items, how do they find you? Hey, thanks, Anna. All right, Anna checking in from Mobile Bay Coins and Fine Jewelry, continuing our barbecue discussion with Sip and Chew, Mike and Stu, here at 11 o'clock on Sunday mornings here at FM Talk 106.5, but we're talking barbecue, and I thought this was going to be not simple, but I thought it was going to be less an algebraic equation. I thought we were just talking about sauces in different areas. Now we've got wood, now we've got the meat, now we've got to talk sauce.
Yeah, and we were talking about the Kansas City being the sauce most people identify earlier.
Yes.
The Carolinas, it's a little thinner, or you have the mustard-based sauce. But Alabama has its own sauce. It was invented in Decatur, Alabama. It really is best with chicken, and that's the white sauce.
I've had that from Bob Gibson's.
Yeah,
Yes.
Big Bob Gibson's. Chris Lilly is currently the pit master there. A friend of mine. He is one of the preeminent barbecuers in the country. He has won Memphis in May more than anyone else. He's been a 5-time grand champion.
Legacy.
Yeah. And he is married to, I think, Big Bob Gibson's granddaughter.
Oh, that's how we got into it.
Right.
He
Yeah.
married his
Yeah. And he's, yeah.
It's a daughter.
Yeah. He is an actual chef. Chris is very talented
Right. I know
and a good guy. But they smoke the chicken. And when it's all,
because they're up there, right?
right. It tends to be more hickory up there.
So yeah, they're good.
And when it's almost done, they pull it off, dunk it in the white sauce, and throw it back on the smoker for about another half an hour.
We'll caramelize it, caramelize it on there a little bit.
Yeah.
What's the base? Okay, because you talked about mustard. What's the basis of a white sauce? What do you
Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise,
Cider vinegar,
ketchup.
black pepper, and a little bit of sugar just to keep the acidity from the vinegar from overpowering it. You
Okay,
can
so
use
if you
sugar.
had to qualify it, then would it be where would it have its roots? More Carolina or more Kansas or more?
Alabama.
It has no. So it is our own thing. The white
Right.
sauce is
Yeah.
its own
It is.
duchy, right?
Absolutely. And then you have other variations like within the KC. If you've ever seen the brown barbecue sauces, those just tend to use molasses instead of brown sugar. So
Okay.
that's where they get the color and a little more smokiness. I really like those, the molassesy ones.
I do
Yeah.
like that too.
Yeah, a little less ketchup with those because you've got the molasses, which is, molasses is just left over from the sugar refining process. And there's things you can do with it, including making bathtub rum.
But it always seems to come back to a theme here. So we've got, I just wondered about this. So that is our unique, the white sauce, our unique
Mhm.
Alabama sauce. But
Right.
around the rest of the state, you talked about, I mean, it was cool. You're talking about on the Alabama-Georgia line, there's this pocket. And
Right.
and I wonder, are we, like Asia is the crossroads of the world, you look at genetic code. Is Alabama a place where these forces from this East Coast Carolina thing meet?
We are kind of-
We call all the
Yeah.
crossroads of it. Yeah.
Yeah, because let's think of it. The east side of the state is next to Georgia.
Yeah.
You're only three or four hours from South Carolina.
Right.
A lot of bleed over. Northeast corner, you're right there by Memphis.
Yeah.
So those are already there. Texas brisket has migrated to Mobile, Baldwin County over the last 5 to 10 years. A lot of places are doing Texas style brisket
Okay.
here. And the way I look at it is Alabama is the greatest hits of barbecue. We've got a little bit of everything.
Like, yeah, we play the best of the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s today, tonight, and tomorrow.
Right.
I don't know so much about beef ribs, but I know brisket and burn ends has grown so much in popularity here.
And that's one that crosses over too. Burn ends is when you do a brisket, the flat on the end gets done before the rest of it does. So it gets kind of burnt. So they would chop that off and not give that to the customers, and the cooks would keep it. And they toss it with a little sauce, put it back on the smoker for a little while, get it really good glaze on it. So now they're having to take entire briskets and treat them like burn ends.
That's too funny. Like the thing that was the not the prime brisket has now become a popular thing.
Well, say that, but we knew in the kitchen that it was the prime part, and we kept it for ourselves, saying, "You don't want this part."
You think it was like, or do you think the customers had a preconceived notion that I'm not paying for that, I'm paying for it?
Yeah. A lot of them did. Yeah,
give me the fat. Give me that burnt fat. Probably my favorite piece of meat now is pork belly burn end, and Billy Stitt does it over at Billy's, and they do it in Kansas City. I've had some wonderful pork belly burn ends in Kansas City, and wow,
you just see Mike's eyes have glazed over.
I love bacon. Who doesn't love bacon?
Yeah. And you know, there are little hot spots all over the country that have very unique stuff. Kentucky, the barbecue is mutton, which is full grown sheep.
Yeah.
In California, there's actually a distinctive type of barbecue there called Santa Rosa style. It's up in the northern end of the state. Our friend Guy Fieri would know a lot about it being in Santa Rosa, but it's a hot cook method of a beef. The tri-tip, which is a sirloin, very lean, and it's really good too. And they don't really
uneducated. I would say very lean cut doesn't seem to be where I'm going.
And they don't slow cook it like we do here either. It's done at a higher temperature, and
what makes that in the barbecue family, not in something grilled. You know what? Like
it's grilled longer than you would a steak, which is 10 to 15 minutes. This is probably on there 45 or so.
I've done that by mistake. It got into the beers and left a steak.
Yeah,
I created burnt steak.
And like the big pig style we were talking about on the Alabama-Georgia state line, which is a genre within the central Alabama style, is they use what's called a CT butt for smoking, and that's one. There's two muscles that make up a Boston butt. One of them is kind of white meat, and the other one is kind of dark meat. That's why you get a good blend. They just take the part that's dark meat, the softer, redder piece of meat, and it comes out to be a little bit bigger than a softball. And they cook that over a higher temperature than we would for slow smoking. Still lower temperature you would to cook a burger or a steak, maybe like around 300 degrees, which is
like there's so many more levels than I thought.
Yeah. We haven't even talked about rub or no rub.
We'll do that. Let me grab a couple texts here and we hold that because we're talking about rub or no rub. Let's see. Well, some of these are y'all's personal messages here. Texter said, "Ask Mike if he wants to go to Key West with me. We will take my grilling sauce and get free drinks. He should be able to figure out who this is."
Thank you, Charlie.
Chris in Orange Beach, the most important thing about barbecue is not the sauce, it's the wood. You smoke it on pecan. So he got that in early. He said, I too Bartlett's House Barbecue. Bartlett, I don't know, Bartlett House Barbecue?
Not familiar with it.
Okay, can give us more information. Ashley from Loosedale says, not much better than barbecue porn talk. That's what we do on a Friday.
They got some good places over in Loosedale, by the way.
Oh my God, yeah.
There's Hokey's Barbecue, and what's the other one?
The one downtown Loosedale.
COVID head here, can't remember. But everybody in Loosedale knows there's a barbecue place downtown on the main drive.
It's owned by the same people that own Landmark Cafe.
Yeah.
About two doors down.
Don't worry. The text line will tell us by the time we get back right here.
Absolutely.
251-343-0106. We'll be right back. We went to it's a TikTok thing. I have it on my phone. I don't have time for it, even though Luann gives me hell. Like, he needs to get on there, all my gardening stuff. And I'm like, well, whatever. I'll get around.
No, I think the person who talked about Key West was we've already been chatting this morning.
Yeah.
Because I think he has a place in Key West, and he goes down there all the time. And he has his own barbecue sauce too.
We're taking on down with you and then get free drinks. I like that.
Yeah.
But she took me, and she wanted to go. I took her, I guess. She was watching on TikTok DJs in Lucedale. It's the old all you could eat buffet. I mean, this is, thin blonde thing. Yeah, thin, but she ain't like me.
Yeah.
And when we went to this thing, the volume of food, DJs all you can eat in Lucedale or whatever.
Really?
It's insane. They have snow crab legs and all that. They have the big.
Oh yeah, it's all you can eat steak and seafood. It's not a buffet, dude.
I've only seen that one time.
Yeah.
You can do this. Like
I thought it was an AI scam the first time I saw it.
Right. But and she's like, so we went. I mean, it's on the road going. It's not in Lucedale proper. It's in the country. Which for us coming from my house, I live west of the airport, so I'm about Grand Bay Wilmer Road area.
Yeah.
So it's not far for us.
How much you love loaves and fishes?
I see. I've never been.
Oh man, it's good.
So I don't.
I go to Rocky Creek, man.
Yeah.
I like it even better.
Now that's on my list because I pass when I go.
Rocky Creek's great.
Because the way I go in duck camp, the way I cut, the way it leads me from my house to go up to North Mississippi, take you by every time. I'm like, I'm going there. I'm going there. I've never been. And so she also loves fried catfish like I do.
Yeah.
Any what?
The one I posted the picture of and it's disappeared.
Your girl, she had to make it.
Have you heard about the, what is it, Yummy?
No, but I did see where Stevie's Kitchen is taking over that place right there at the creek, at the river, at the Mississippi Alabama state line. That cabin they built. That's got Stevie's Kitchen's taking over.
Excellent. Good.
Have you been to I am a homebody. I cook a lot. I study. There's homebody. I cook
North Street.
but the way I don't want to go somewhere like once a week. And I listened to y'all someday. I wonder if they know about Himalayan.
And we'll give it.
So she loves.
That used to be a great Japanese restaurant that was just hidden there for the longest time, and I think COVID kind of killed them.
Well, this guy, I kind of want to say, like, you need to advertise and get, people don't know you're there. Like going to the wings place next door or something like that. But we knew about it, so we went there.
Hickory Hawk.
Yeah, that's.
And he also owns. They own Landmark, and they own Downtown Grill. So they got 3 places right there downtown.
What is for punishment?
But Hickory Hawk, oh my God, that stuff's good. What's been to the Velvet Pig yet?
Like I was just talking about with Sue, I mean, he's branching me out. But I am pretty much. I want to get back to my house and farm. And
he's got a great menu there, and then across the street he's opening the oyster bar.
I need to go to places. I'm trying.
I don't get downtown hardly anymore, Sean, since I don't live there no more.
Yeah, well, I don't. I mean, it's a big deal for me. I mean, like I said, to me, it's nothing to get here. I love where I live. I can't.
There's a guy.
Don't really get me out of it.
There's a guy.
I'm 10 minutes past the airport.
Yeah.
So downtown.
I know. Have you been to Hurley yet to go to Sassy's?
Which one is Sassy's? No, we went to
I heard
Elk Hampton. No, so we've gone to the Mexican restaurant there. That's a place we'll go. We'll go to Hurley.
Get their pulled ribs French fries. It's French fries topped with rib meat that's been pulled.
Oh, that didn't sound.
Oh my gosh,
it's like Wu-Tang. It's not like Mississippi Wu-Tang. Almost.
What?
Wu-Tang.
I had
Wu-Tang.
There's no meat on poutine.
Yeah, there is. It's pulled pork. It's pot roast and pulled pork.
Not on poutine. No, it's just in Mississippi.
It sounds like
in Mississippi it is
11 o'clock. This show is Midday Mobile, but I have 100% of sip and chew in the studio.
Honestly, together we're 200%,
Yes.
at least.
I've lost institutional control of the studio, obviously. All right, gentlemen, I want to read a couple more. Actually, quite a few more texts to get through these before we wrap up. Get your reaction here. John says, if the meat is good enough, I may not put sauce on the meat.
Yep.
This is like some people treat steak. If steak is good enough, then it doesn't need sauce.
Way to go, John. That's absolutely correct.
One of the issues with the sauce is if they have a good bark on the meat, the sauce is going to ruin it.
Yeah.
Because it's a liquid. The bark is crispiness on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
You want it for that texture. That's what you're after with a burn in. It's all bark.
It's a holy grail.
And you want it crunchy. Well, you put the sauce on it, it's a liquid. It's going to moisten it and you lose that.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but like I like pulled pork sandwiches like you. I'll sauce that baby up.
Yeah. I put a little drizzle on it, and then occasionally I'll take a bite and dunk that in
I'll
some.
make a aioli out of it.
Yeah.
Take your sauce and some mayonnaise, make an aioli, and
Okay.
and then put it on there.
I like that. I got to after the show. I got to ask you about that because I make a turkey salad for wild turkeys.
Oh, yeah.
I take it like chicken salad, and I do that. But I'm looking to mix things up. It's good, and it's a crowd favorite. But I want to give it a little kick here. All right, this from Matt said, "Hey Sean and the boys, Matt from Fairhope here just jumped on 65 in Coleman heading home. Thank you for listening on the app. Where do I stop for the best barbecue for my lunch between here and Fairhope? Thanks for a great show."
Oh, wow. The place is Green.
Shotgun.
Well, that's not really all on right off the interstate. I mean, it's phenomenal, but
Down 225.
yeah. But yeah, if you're getting off
Between Coleman and
225,
Fairhope. Between Coleman and Fairhope.
yeah. But there's a place, Evergreen, I think it used to be a smokehouse where you got country ham and it was famous for breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
And then they closed down, and I think it's called I-65 Barbecue.
Well, that's the way you market. You let
Yeah.
people know where it is.
That's a good one. Let's see.
Just go to the pirate pit in Fairhope.
I think he's going to have to say, just wait till he gets home.
If he doesn't find anything,
Okay.
go to the pirate pit.
But that's the thing. Just about every exit down 65 is going to have some kind of local barbecue. Everyone has a smartphone. Just when you get off the exit, put barbecue near me.
Yes. How many times have you entered that in your phone?
Yeah.
It comes up. You know what? Stu gets the B. It goes ahead and autofills the rest of it. All right. Marty says people who think Sweet Baby Ray's is great sauce are the same people who think the Olive Garden is fine gourmet Italian dining.
Amen.
Amen.
I have said many times, Sweet Baby Ray's is fantastic if you're making, pie or pancakes.
If
It doesn't
you're feeding
belong
the in-laws,
anywhere
that's
near
what
me.
you want to give them.
It's just sugar. It doesn't really qualify as a barbecue sauce. There's no heat. There's no acidity. It's just sweet.
When I buy the store bought, I get the sugar free, no sugar added.
What is
Not baby,
G. Allen?
not Sweet Baby Ray's, but there's another one out
Yeah,
there.
there's
I think it's called
it was
Ray.
on Food Network. That was G. Allen was his name.
It's sugar free. It tastes like it's got sugar in it.
Yeah,
Okay. You got my attention.
he is a high end chef who noticed the problems in the Black community with the traditional foods.
Mhm.
So he came up with sugar free alternatives to it
Good.
because diabetes is rampant throughout the Black community, especially in the South.
Yeah.
So he was addressing that. It is a very good sauce.
Watch out, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. just got raked over the coals.
Yeah.
I was listening out.
Oh my God. But I think we could all do. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
If it tastes the same, it doesn't have sugar. I mean, I got the same
Absolutely.
issues we're talking about, and I got to limit my sugar.
Half everything in my refrigerator has no sugar in it whatsoever.
And that's the great thing about
Did you know
Dreamland.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's the great thing about Dreamland sauce. It's only got 5 grams of carbohydrates in it per
Really?
portion. Yeah. And in
Because
fact,
of
one of their
vinegar,
things
because
says
they water it down?
because it's so vinegary. In fact, I was on Atkins diet when I found that out because I'd go in there and just put Tabasco, which in case you haven't had it, just plain hot sauce on ribs. Phenomenal.
That does sound good.
But I looked at that thing and it said we were low carb before Atkins was. And they only have 5 grams of carbohydrates in the barbecue sauce at Dreamland.
More questions coming here. The Mariner said, would y'all consider something like Sweet Baby Ray's Kansas City sauce or not? Well, you just answered.
It is, yeah, it is a Kansas City style. And they just,
But really not a barbecue sauce.
yeah, they just go overboard with the sugar and leave out the stuff that makes it interesting. You might as well put ketchup on it.
Jim in Georgetown says I usually use pecan, but I've been known to use a little blackjack oak. I got those in the woods.
Nice.
A little blackjack oak when it's available. Smoke should never taste like smoke. It should taste like a spice.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. The white smoke is very accurate, the stuff that we see. And if you've ever had stuff that was burnt or tasted bad, it's because of the white smoke. Somebody let it build up in there.
Okay. He said, yeah, I don't think Mike ever had my barbecue, but he has seen some. He has seen some of it on Facebook. Before Brooke got a restaurant, I made several barbecue plates for her at Donkey
Market.
There you go.
Wonderful.
Jim in
place.
Georgetown, man of many talents, Renaissance man. He and I usually talk about gardening, but where is he talking about with the brisket? Who has the brisket? Says Adam.
Meat Boss. Meat Boss is well known for their brisket. Got them on Food Network.
It's so expensive though.
It is because it's trendy.
Yeah.
And here's what you can
My
do.
mom has like the number of meat. I go to her house. I'm like, how do you get this many Meat Boss cups? Well, I just went. I'm like, how much Meat Boss are you doing, Mom?
There's a cut you could substitute for brisket that's called clawed, and it's the shoulder
Okay.
where the chuck comes from.
Mhm.
If you get a beef sandwich in Texas, it's going to be that, not brisket. For the most part, especially in West Texas, it's much cheaper. So just get a standard chuck roast. Try smoking that. It'll be got plenty of fat. Any of the connective tissue that makes chuck roast tough, well, that goes away when you smoke.
You know, you say that about it's popular now, just like skirt steak.
Yeah.
At one time, that was
Yes.
cheap stuff to throw away, and now it got on Food Network, and now it's one of the more expensive ones.
Try getting a chuck eye steak cheap now.
Yeah. Oh, you can't.
Yeah.
Let's see. Big Bob Gibson's barbecue does not sell beer. -5 stars. Backstrap stacker. Ashley and Lucio. Yeah. Hickory hog, pork belly,
Yeah.
burnt ends on tacos.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what Mike is raving about.
I had it on collards and a.
I have my collards.
No,
We'll bring some.
We won't say no.
we're here on Sunday mornings, 11:00.
11 o'clock. It says Matt also Hokies had killer ribs and upside down sweet potato pit. Maybe it was supposed to be pie. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Probably
I
pie.
know pie. I don't know sweet potato pit.
Yeah.
But there's a reason that's in all caps.
Yeah. Hokies is really good too. They do a Kansas City style.
So you know what? We won't get to all these, so y'all can pick them up on Sunday.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
11 a.m. Right here on FM Talk 106.5.
With a fat spot on your dial.
This room right here. Paul Feinbaum on the way next. He's skinny and he takes over. Talk to y'all tomorrow for FM Talk 106.5 Outdoors.
I'll worry about Paul sometime.
Michael?
What?
Provolone!
Along. Here.